What do you think that how UK is working on digital technologies?
Technology being implemented in different ways. We know that artificial intelligence is going to be a tool that is very much an application.
Current projects on which you are working.
But one university that we're talking to is based in Islamabad.
Let me know what is your the biggest dream.
My biggest dream is to support different institutions.
What is the piece of advice you want to give to the youth of Pakistan?
Pakistanis need to realize that they have talent.
Hi guys, this is Ali Rehman Khalid, and today we have our guest Dr. Abdul Jabbar. He is from UK. He is Dean of Internationalization and Associate Professor at UK University. His university is top 30 in UK and top 200 in Times. We will ask him about his research area, which is digital transformation, how he is working on digital transformation, and what is his vision in planning about digital transformation with Pakistan, how he wants to collaborate and pay back to Pakistan, his country. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Abdul Jabbar. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Sir, we have to start with your research area, which is digital transformation. First of all, let me know that when you identify this thing that you are very much interested in digital transformation, because you have studied organizational behavior and change, which is somehow different from digital transformation, but how you started your journey in digital transformation?
My undergraduate degree and my master's degree are in software development and internet technologies.
Okay.
So when I did my degree in organizational behavior and change, after I finished my PhD, I was looking for the development of a specific research. What I realized was that my interest in how organizations implement and utilize technology, and this is where I came into the realms of what I call digital transformation, transforming organization through digital mechanisms.
So, what is your vision regarding digital transformation and disruptive technologies? How they are changing the world, and how it can contribute in Pakistan in future?
Oh, some two or three different questions there. But I think in terms of the key digital transformations that we see today, I think in the last 5 years, we've seen quite a large amount of technologies which have fundamentally changed the way that we utilize technology. So we've seen blockchain, we've seen central bank digital currencies, and now we're starting to see the implementation of artificial intelligence. So we're constantly seeing a change in how these technologies are coming along. In terms of how they can support Pakistan, I think what we see in Pakistan especially is we have a huge population of young individuals, and I think AI would probably be one of those areas where Pakistan could benefit hugely, and I can see significant amount of transformation within that area. So I think Pakistan has a competitive advantage, especially with some of its students who are educated within the STEM sector. So I can see a lot of overlap between new and upcoming technologies and the Pakistani population.
Sir, being an associate professor in one of the biggest institutes in UK, and your 25 years teaching experience being a lecturer, what do you think that how UK is working on digital technologies, how they are building different courses, how they are adding digital transformation and this into their curriculum?
We see technology being implemented in different ways. So, for example, if we take the example of artificial intelligence, we know that artificial intelligence is going to be a tool that is very much an application. So, artificial intelligence, it can write code, it can develop code, it can debug code. So, what a programmer used to do, you could say, can now be done by artificial intelligence. So we need to look at, okay, we know what the capabilities of AI are. What are the challenges and what are the skills that individual, a student who is coming through the system now, what kind of skills will that individual need in the next 10, 15 to 20 years?
So, do you really think that what we hear, there is a saying in people that after the AI and after the digital transformation, or after some years when the technology advancements occurs more, so there will be less jobs for people. How much true is this?
Good question. And I think this is something that worries a lot of people. It's a big societal question here.
Yeah.
And we already see, especially in some of the Scandinavian countries, where they're already trialing what we call universal credit, where they're already paying people to stay at home. But what we will see is that those manual labor jobs that
Manual labor jobs.
manual labor jobs that do not require any specialist knowledge, those will be replaced. So, as an example, in the West, if you look at Uber, they're spending billions of dollars right now in research and development in robo taxis.
Robots.
So you've got a huge, and that's not a skill that requires much specialist knowledge, because anybody can, with the right training, can drive a car. So you're going to replace a huge swathe of a service economy with those robot taxis, fundamentally changes society. So most manual labor jobs in one way or another will be replaced by AI. If a machine can do it without any special training, it will be done by a machine.
Sir, people in Pakistan are trying to go to the UK and to earn money to enhance their financial situations, financial conditions due to the whatever instability or problems in Pakistan. So they want to go to UK, USA for study, for jobs. Why you want to come to Pakistan and collaborate with our universities in order to enhance modern technology? What is your vision? What is your ultimate goal? Why do you want to do this?
Well, Leicester's motto is that the University of Leicester has a motto where we are citizens of change.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we give back to the world, and we want to make sure that we help develop the next generation of scientists, business leaders, entrepreneurs, leadership, etc. And Pakistan has one of the biggest social demographics in the world right now.
Okay.
And we've been to see, the HEC chairman, we've been to see different universities and different institutions, and they all talk about how they want to partner with quality UK institutions to help support Pakistanis to get the kind of education that they need, so that they can meet their aspirations, whether that is to leave the country, to find a job in another country, or whether they want to stay in Pakistan. That's what we want to do. And those are the kind of partners that we want to work with. We want to support Pakistan's aspirations. We want to support the young people. For many of the young people who want a UK degree, it might not be obtainable. It's very, very expensive. So how do we, as Leicester, can we make that happen, and so with the local partners and with the local quality institutions?
Sir, for this purpose, what are your practical implementations or the current projects on which you are working? Let me know about your 2-3 major projects on which you are currently working.
Oh, good question. So at the moment, so this is our first visit to Pakistan in many, many years. So we're talking to multiple universities. I can't give any names at the moment because they're quite confidential in terms of our discussions. But one university that we're talking to is based in Islamabad. It's one of the biggest and most modern universities there. We're working with them in developing their distance learning capacity. So that's not about us getting students, but it's about supporting that university in developing their distance learning capacity. We're working with another universities where we have an agreement where the student, a Pakistani student, might spend 3 years in Pakistan, then they spend 1 year in the UK, and then they get an undergraduate degree, and also alongside that they'll get any work privileges that are also available as well. So that's the kind of agreements that we're having. We're also speaking to some senior level government officials to look at how we can support, especially within Punjab, the amount of students that we have here and the potential students that we have here who aspire to go to abroad. So how can we give scholarships? How can we support the university? How can we support Punjab with scholarships? And how can we support them in bringing students there?
Sir, what is the major difference which you felt your stay in UK, the difference in education system of UK and Pakistan, and how they are working more on research and development and technologies, how they are a bit higher than us?
Again, I think the biggest difference that I found is, and I've been to a few universities now, is I feel that there's a bigger focus on quantity of research here. So in the UK, we're very much encouraged to publish quality publications over a period of a year. So for example, one paper that I wrote, it took me nearly 4 years to write that paper and to go through all the different processes. Whereas in that 4 years, you can probably publish 15, 20, 25 papers in different types of journals. So
in UK?
So we have different rankings for journal rankings. So to get to the very top journals, it can take a very long time to get those published. Whereas there are a lot of lower ranking journals where you can publish very relatively quickly. So I find the focus on quantity of research over quality of research a little bit, but that's not in all cases, in just some select pockets. I also find that in some areas in this country there could be more focus on process and procedure. It very much feels like things are done sometimes ad hoc, so maybe there can be some more process and procedure driven. But for me, I think the key issue between Pakistan is, that we just got different cultures and different mindsets in how we approach different tasks. But that's with any culture. So
Sir, what are the major challenges in implementing that modern technology and that curriculum into Pakistan? So, what are the major challenges?
I think the major challenges that I can see is what I call the divide between those people who are educated, who have got access to education, who've got access to skills, and for the
Okay.
vast majority of population who don't have access to those population. Everybody seems to have access to some kind of mobile device. Everybody seems to have access to the internet. But what we don't have is, maybe, do those people have the skills to be entrepreneurial? Do those people have the skills to sell a product, to develop within the new knowledge economy?
And how about the mindset, the potential in the students and the infrastructures? Are you satisfied with that in implementing that technology into here?
I can tell you, in terms of mindset, first of all, the Pakistani population is one of the most entrepreneurial people that I've ever met.
Okay.
Wherever they go in the world,
That's
they are
good.
successful. They are so resilient, the Pakistani population, and they have so much talent. So, first of all, in terms of mindset, the Pakistani people that I've met, even abroad, are some of the most resilient, some of the most mindful people that I've always met. So the skills are already there, the potential is already there. It's how we draw out that potential that is key, and that's why I think some of the meetings I've had today, especially with the governor of Punjab, he was talking specifically about drawing out some of those skill set and removing some of the barriers to education. And I think that was the key there. How do we bring 9.8 million out of school children into the school system? Those are the challenges, and those are the areas that we need to focus on.
Okay. So, what do you think that how much successful you will be in your future goals and plans in coming days?
In terms of Pakistan,
Yeah.
I think we'll be very successful. Area of growth. I think Pakistan has got a lot of potential. I feel that we will be successful because I feel that we understand the culture of Pakistan. I think before you can start developing partnerships, goals, relationships, you need to understand the people. And this comes from my father. He always used to say to me, "Go to Pakistan, understand the people. Go." And you asked me before today's podcast, can you speak Urdu? And I said, no, I can't.
Yeah.
But that's my failing. So I need to understand I need to understand the culture a little bit better. But I think we can be very successful in Pakistan in supporting not just the universities in the region, but also we're trying to develop across multiple stages.
Sir, you have achieved a lot of things in your life and you are successful. You can say you are a success story as well. But let me know, what is your the biggest dream which is still pending or still you are working for that? What is that biggest dream?
Oh, that's a hard question. So the way that I make decisions, so the way I run my life is every 5 years, I have a goal. Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? So recently, when I recently turned five, about 3-4 years ago, my intention was to always become a dean, and I've hit that milestone now. So I'm in the process of developing my next areas of where I want to go. So I've got dreams in a both successful level, but on a personal level. But really, at this moment in time, my biggest dream is to support different institutions in developing. I mean, I was at Sargodha, so my wife's from Sargodha, so I went to Sargodha the other day, and what I saw there was, I saw kids getting an education, and I saw a lot of poverty there, and I left my heart there, if that makes sense. I really wanted to support those people in coming into giving them the kind of education that they deserve.
Sir, are the people who are in authority or people of government are willing to help you in your projects? What's their take on your initiatives?
The people that I've met in authority, and I've met quite a few over the last 10 days, they've been nothing but supportive. I can see a real drive here in Pakistan by the people in power to support their people. And they know that one of the biggest pools of talent they have is in Pakistan. So there's a real vision and drive from the very top to support the people of Pakistan in helping them to get an education. And I don't, this is, for me, that was very refreshing. I met the HEC chairman. He talked about developing new types of relationships. Met the Minister of Education for the Punjab, very dynamic individual who talked again about developing new ideas and new methods of collaboration. So from the individuals that I've met, I've seen a real drive to push forward some of the
They're
areas.
passionate to do the
Yeah,
things.
they want the best for their people, and they want to support them, and they want to help them to get out of poverty as much as they possibly can.
So at the end, what is the piece of advice you want to give to the youth of Pakistan and how we can grow in a better way?
Okay, in terms of advice, I think Pakistani people need to know that they are probably some of the most resilient people on this planet, and they are, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the conditions are, Pakistani people thrive. And I've noticed that wherever I've gone I've been to China and I've met Chinese people who are Pakistani who can speak fluent Chinese, and that blows my mind. And they go there, they learn the language, they assimilate into the population, and they work hard, and then they really give back to that country. You go to the UK, there's so many Pakistanis there that work really everywhere in the world. So Pakistanis need to realize that they have talent, and they have a lot of talent. A lot of them are amazing salespeople.
So you only think that there is a lack of opportunities for them. So that's why they're.
I think there's a lack of not just opportunity but aspiration in some respects. So you've got to be a little bit more aspirational. Try to aim a little bit higher. My dad used to always say to me that I think it's a mystery, because the mystery can only see what's in front of him. If you give him a job, he'll only see that job. He won't see past that job. So you need to think a little bit bigger and be a
Out
little
of
bit
the
more
box thinking is less.
we need to be a little bit more aspirational, and I think that will open up a lot more doors.
How you started your journey when you were the students? What was your dreams? What was your objectives to come to that place and to serve humanity?
Okay, no. So when I started working at the age of 16 years old, and I used to wash dishes in a restaurant.
Okay.
And that was my
That's a
starting
very
point.
struggling story.
It's a story of struggle. So if you go and speak to most Pakistanis who were born in the UK in the late 70s, early 80s, early 90s, that generation in the 80s, early 90s, it was a very tough time for a lot of Pakistanis, and you had to do something. There was no backup plan. You had to get educated. You had to work hard. You had to make a life for yourself. So I started off at the age of 16 washing dishes, and since that day to now, I've never stopped working, and I've always focused on bettering myself. Always focused on reflection, always focused on where I've come from, and try to stay true to my roots as much as I possibly can. And you will have, as a Pakistani, you will always have challenges as you come through the system, especially if you want to be good at what you do. And what I find, is you need to be a good communicator. You need to be open to new ideas.
Who was your inspiration and aspiration, and how that motivation helped you in your career and in excelling in different fields?
I think there was two people that really motivated me,
Yeah.
and one of them was my school teachers. One of my school teachers at school, her name was Mrs. Diamond. I don't know if she's alive anymore, but she was a big inspiration to me. And one of the other people that really inspired me was in my first job. Was one of my heads of department. Her name was Wilma, and she was a real inspiration to me. And the way she supported me and developed me and really helped me to grow as an individual. And I think at certain points in my life, I had people to mentor me in the right direction, and I think that made a massive difference, and that really helped me to grow. And sometimes, you just don't know where the help comes from, but the help comes and it just gives you a nudge in the right direction. But you have to put yourself in those positions to get those opportunities, and that means you have to work, you have to put the effort in, and those opportunities open up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Jabbar, for your time. And I think your information which you gave about disruptive technologies, digital transformation, is very essential for the youth and people who are watching us. And thank you so much for patience listening. Inshallah, see you in our next interview series. Take care. Allah Hafiz.